What if I told you that a single bee contributes over $200 billion to the global economy? And that's just one species. What's the real value of nature? And why does it matter for all of us? We don't often think about it, but wildlife isn't just beautiful, it's essential to how our economies run. From the food we eat to the air we breathe, every species plays a role in keeping our world turning. Today, we're exploring the surprising ways wildlife fuels industries worldwide, the costs of biodiversity loss, and how conservation isn't just good for nature, it's good for business. Stay tuned for some jaw-dropping facts and stories you'll want to share. Did you know that honeybees alone pollinate crops worth $577 billion annually? Without them, entire agricultural systems would collapse. Take the almond industry in California. It's 100% reliant on bee pollination. During peak season, farmers truck in hives from across the country just to keep the orchards thriving. Pollinators aren't the only stars. Tuna, a single fish species, fuels a $42 billion global market. But overfishing threatens their populations and the livelihoods of millions who depend on them. A single coral reef system provides ecosystem services, like fisheries and coastal protection, worth over $375 billion each year. When reefs die, those benefits vanish. Since the 1970s, we've lost nearly 60% of vertebrate populations. This isn't just an environmental issue, it's an economic one. The World Bank estimates that biodiversity loss could reduce global GDP by $2.7 trillion annually by 2030. I once visited a coastal town that depended on fishing. The waters had been overfished, and you could see the impact everywhere: empty docks, struggling families. It really brought home how deeply connected our economies are to nature. In Kenya, elephant-based ecotourism generates $52 million annually. Each elephant can bring in over $1.6 million in tourism revenue over its lifetime. Ecotourism isn't just about the money, it's about jobs and local empowerment. In Costa Rica, a small country rich in biodiversity, ecotourism employs over 400,000 people and contributes $4 billion to the economy. Protecting nature isn't a cost. It's an investment. Every dollar spent on conservation returns an estimated $7 in economic benefits through services like clean water, air, and fertile soil. What if protecting rainforests could stop the next pandemic? Scientists estimate that preventing deforestation could save $22 billion annually by reducing the risk of zoonotic diseases jumping to humans. What species do you think is most valuable to the economy? Drop your guess in the comments before I reveal one surprising contender. Fungi. Yes, fungi. They're crucial for medicine, agriculture, and even sustainable packaging. Penicillin, the world's first antibiotic, was derived from fungi and has saved millions of lives. Today, researchers are using fungi to create eco-friendly packaging that could replace plastics. Imagine the economic and environmental impact of that shift. Jane Goodall once said, "What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make." The same is true for economies and ecosystems. They rise or fall together. Every choice we make, whether it's supporting sustainable products, advocating for conservation, or simply learning more, contributes to a ripple effect. So, how will you make a difference today? Let me know in the comments below. What if I told you that saving rainforests could save human lives and billions of dollars at the same time? Here's the surprising connection. 75% of emerging infectious diseases in humans, like COVID-19, Ebola, and Zika, originate in animals. Deforestation disrupts ecosystems, forcing wildlife into closer contact with humans and increasing the risk of zoonotic diseases jumping species. That's the moment a localized issue becomes a global pandemic. Scientists estimate that by preventing deforestation, we could reduce the risk of zoonotic spillover and save up to $22 billion annually in healthcare costs and economic losses. Think about it. A small investment in protecting rainforests could prevent catastrophic pandemics and their economic fallout. In Brazil, deforestation in the Amazon has skyrocketed in recent years. Beyond the devastating loss of biodiversity, studies show a clear link between deforested areas and increased malaria cases. Why? Mosquitoes, which thrive in degraded environments, find the perfect breeding grounds there. Rainforests are often called the lungs of the earth, producing 20% of the oxygen we breathe. But they're more than that, they're nature's pharmacy, too. Over 25% of the medicines we use today, including treatments for cancer and heart disease, originate from rainforest plants. By protecting these ecosystems, we're safeguarding our own health and economic future. Throughout this journey, we've explored the incredible ways wildlife powers our economies and enriches our lives, from the smallest pollinators to the largest land mammals. These ecosystems sustain our food systems, fuel industries, protect our homes, and even inspire cutting-edge technologies. But what happens when these natural connections start to break? As we've seen, the cost of losing biodiversity isn't just emotional, it's deeply economic. Think of it this way: ecosystems are the invisible foundation of our economies. When we weaken that foundation, through deforestation, overfishing, or habitat destruction, it's not just nature that suffers. Entire industries, jobs, and communities are at risk. This isn't a problem for future generations. It's happening now. Here's the thing: when we talk about conservation, it might feel overwhelming, like the problems are too big, or our actions are too small to make a difference. But that's not true. Every small step we take toward protecting nature ripples out to create massive, positive impacts. Think of it like a domino effect. One act of care inspires another, and another. It's not just about saving species. It's about building a future where we all thrive, where cleaner air, richer soil, thriving industries, and healthier communities are the norm. Take the Green Belt movement in Kenya, for example. What started as a small group of women planting trees to combat deforestation has grown into a global movement. Today, millions of trees later, those forests protect local water sources, create jobs, and even cool the surrounding climate. Then there's ecotourism. In Rwanda, mountain gorillas were once critically endangered. Conservation programs funded by sustainable tourism not only protected the species but also revitalized entire communities. Villagers who once relied on harmful practices like poaching now earn livelihoods as guides, porters, and conservationists. And let's not forget innovation. Companies are looking to nature for sustainable solutions, like fungi-based packaging that replaces plastic, algae being used to create renewable energy, and medicinal plants that hold the cures to diseases we've yet to discover. Investing in biodiversity isn't just a moral decision, it's a strategic one. These stories show us what's possible when we prioritize nature. The question is, what role will you play? You don't have to be a scientist or a billionaire to make a difference. Change starts with simple actions, like switching to eco-friendly products, supporting organizations that protect wildlife, or even just spreading awareness by sharing what you've learned here. Here's a thought: what if we treated every bee, every tree, and every coral reef as priceless treasures? Because the truth is, they are. The health of our economies, our communities, and even our personal well-being is tied to the health of these ecosystems. So here's my challenge for you. What's one small action you can take today to support biodiversity? Maybe it's planting a native tree, choosing products with eco-certifications, or simply telling someone about what you've learned. Every action matters, and together, those small choices create a big wave of change. Now it's your turn. What species surprised you the most in today's video? Was it the bees, the elephants, the fungi, or maybe something else? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video made you think differently about our connection to nature, don't forget to hit like, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden connections that shape our world.